If you're looking to make a move, you're not alone. Mortgage rates are coming down as we head towards the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. A lot of buyers are going to jump back into the market, and there's a lot more homes here in North Georgia than we've had in years to pick from. But I'm going to talk to you today about new construction. Why might it make more sense to buy a brand new house versus an existing house? There's a lot of reasons. We'll go over 5 of the big ones, talk about some of the pitfalls as well. But before you make your next move, talk about why new construction might need to be on your shopping list. What's going on? This is Steve, real estate agent with the Malone Home Team at eXp Realty here in the North Georgia area. All right, so as we do all the time, we ask you to please like and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. Be a big help for us to get all the information out, as we're going to be focusing a lot as we head towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, on what to do next, because a lot of buyers are going to come back in, a lot of sellers are going to jump back in, mortgage rates are coming down. I think 2025 is going to be a very busy year for real estate. Let's get off on the right foot and talk about how to prepare ourselves. If you're looking to buy, one of the things you need to think about is you want to think about the potential of new construction. There are reasons why. There's a lot of reasons why. Today we're going to talk about five real big reasons why new construction should be on the top of your list if you're looking about making a move, okay? And as we talk about this, it really all depends on the kind of buyer that you are, what your plans are for the next 3, 5, 10, 15 years, things like that. But there are certain scenarios, and there's a lot of them, where it makes more sense to buy brand new construction. So let's break it down. 5 reasons why you should think about new construction for your next house. Here we go. The number one reason is the most obvious reason. Man, it's brand new. Everybody likes brand new, right? Everybody likes brand new car, brand new clothes, brand new whatever. Brand new house is kicking, man. It's clean. It's designed new. So all the new trends as far as like open concept things and trends in the kitchen, trends in the bathrooms, trends with paint, trends with all that stuff. It's all built in. Brand spanking new. That's really, a lot of people get nervous about moving into a house that somebody's lived in for 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. And each decade has their reasons why. The decade was good for construction, the decade was bad for construction. But brand new houses, man, are brand spanking new. You don't have to worry about whatever happened with this, whatever happened with that. It's new. It's fresh. It's clean. Everybody likes that. And it's really cool to kind of watch it come out of the ground. If you get in early enough, you can watch it come out of the ground, watch them put on drywall and whatever. Kind of weird to see it at first, but as it starts coming together and you start seeing your house come together, you're like, wow, it's really cool. That's really, at the end of the day, the fact that it's new, it's the most up-to-date with features and benefits and things like that. I mean, that's why existing construction, we put so much emphasis on getting it staged, because the reason we get it staged and what we do with getting it staged is we try to get it look like one of those show houses. If you've been inside a new construction house and one of those, the model homes, holy cow, man. Those model homes they're really nice. They make me start thinking about selling my house. So, and that could be your house. So it's brand new. That's number one. Everybody loves new. Everybody loves, state of the art, top of the line stuff. New construction, that's where it is. That's number one, man. You can't beat new. So number 2 is, if you get in at the right time with the new construction, you have the opportunity to potentially customize it, all right? We're talking about the potential to, pick cabinets, pick countertops, pick some flooring, pick, that upstairs. They have like flex rooms where you could flex, and instead of having the bigger closet, you could have a smaller closet with an extra bathroom, or you could all kinds of stuff. Maybe flex and have a porch in the backyard, or this or that. If you get in early enough. Now, there's a lot of times, and we've been working with some buyers who they saw houses kind of past those stages where they customize everything. Right, everything's kind of in the machine by then, and they want to make some changes. It costs a lot of money to make some of those changes at that point. But if you can get in early enough, then you're looking at, instead of being like, what I want to do is I want to find a house that does this, that does that, that does this, it has this room for this room for that. You just go get some new construction. You have the opportunity to customize it, okay? And again, I'll say it again. Not every house will be able to do that, right? Because you may not get in there early enough, but if you can get in there early enough, you can pick, do I want a bigger island in the kitchen? What color cabinets do I want? Do I want to have different pulls on the cabinets? What kind of granite? flooring do I want? Carpet throughout? Do I want, tile throughout? Do I want wood throughout? Do I want a mixture here and there? All that stuff. You kind of build your own house. Again, so not only is it new, but in some situations you can kind of pick and build your own house. Number 3, because it's new, it's up to code, and it's up to the newer codes, okay? So as we go through time, the codes get updated, energy efficiency gets updated, the safety issues get updated, things like that. And with resales do not have to live up to those codes. Like if a deck's kind of falling off a house of a resale, like a house is built, I think, in 2000, and the deck's like falling apart. You can get an inspection that says, hey, the deck's falling apart and it's not up to code. The reality is it's not up to code. Who cares? It's a resale. Now, you're going to argue about it and try and get the seller to give you money, or if you're the seller, try and give the buyer some money to fix it or this and that, and it becomes kind of a negotiating thing. But you're not bound to code. New construction, you're bound to code. It's kind of why we like to get an inspection done, because sometimes things get missed. Things don't get done correctly. It's nice to have an inspector come in and say, hey, this actually needs to be done like this. The other cool thing about having an inspector come in is to explain to you with the code, and we've had this year with some of our new constructions that we've bought. They explain to you some of the changes in the code. Hey, they've updated from doing this, like it used to be, there were GFCI switches and GFCI plugs, I should say, throughout the kitchen and throughout the bathrooms and stuff like that, where you could hit the button on them. Now they have the GFCI built into them, but you reset all of them at the box. All right, so it's a little bit, it's easier to change that. Everything has been, the new codes say you have to do everything at the box. So things like that, things are being improved all the time, right? So not only codes, but again, energy efficiency. Windows are a lot better now than they were, 10, 15 years ago. My house is 20, 25 years old, and those windows are a mess. I'd love me some brand new windows right now, but that's a different video. But things like that, energy efficiency, you've got, where you're supposed to be as far as insulation up in the attic. You know that the walls are as the most insulated as they can possibly be. All of these things, that the house will never be more energy efficient, never be more up to code, never be safer than it is right out of the ground. First buyer that buys them, right? Unless you add stuff as you go. But that's a great thing about new construction, is that up to the latest code, the most energy efficient house on the market. So there you go. That's another reason why new construction is great. We touched on this a little bit already, but let's go a deeper dive on number 4, warranty and the blue tape walkthrough. Okay, so in new construction, you get what's called a buyer consultation walk. The nickname for it is the blue tape walkthrough. Basically, you come in with the builder and you walk the house. It takes a couple hours, but with blue tape, you mark everything that needs to be touched up, like paint that gets messed up on the wall, something gets scratched. There's an issue with something on the floor. If there's carpet that gets nicked up and needs to get fixed, any imperfections in the house. Whereas like with existing construction, if somebody comes in, they buy the house, it's like, well, there's a little paint scuffed right there. It's like, okay, well, you paint it when you buy it. That's the way it works. New construction, they got to fix it, right? It's got to be brand spanking new, which is great. We get an inspection done though. I always, it's the age-old question of do I get an inspection on a brand new house? And what I like to say is, do you 100% without a doubt, guaranteed need an inspection? No. Do I recommend you get an inspection on a brand new house? Yes, because my whole thing is for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's a whole group of people that go in there to work on these houses. It's not just one person, it's a whole crew. And sometimes it's a punch list that they go through, and sometimes Bob thinks that Bill did something, or Bill thinks that Bob did something, right? And it didn't get done, and somehow it gets missed. I've had it happen before and it's something simple, like something just the wire just didn't get done correctly, or didn't get plugged in correctly, or whatever. It's an easy fix, but it's nice to have that peace of mind that says, here, this needs to get fixed. The other cool thing that I talked about just a second ago is that they'll walk you through and talk about some of the newest design features or safety features or changes to the code that makes the house a little bit safer or a little bit more energy efficient. Inspector will do that, but anything that the inspector finds, we give that to the builder, and the builder has a week to kind of, after that blue tape walkthrough, They have a week to fix all the stuff that the inspector found and fix all the paint splotches that we find and whatever. It's that way, once we're done, we get to closing day, we do the final walkthrough, and everything's going to look great. Okay, so you get that blue tape walkthrough, you get the great house, and you get a 1-year warranty. So you get a builder's warranty for 1 year. It's like a 1-2-10 warranty. Basically, everything's covered for a year. Like most mechanical stuff is covered for 2 years, and then structural stuff's covered for 10 years. Okay, so it's called a 1-2-10 warranty. And that's typical. It doesn't always happen that way, but that's the most typical one that you see. But you get, at the very least, a warranty. So not only is everything new, but let's say something crazy happens, because crazy stuff happens. We live in that world. If it happens, you got a warranty to cover it. So not only is it brand spanking new, but you can sit back and relax because you don't have to worry about anything. Because it's all brand new. New AC unit, new roof, new dishwasher, new everything. New oven, it's all new. So, but if something crazy happens, you got a warranty too. So you get the house that looks great, has a warranty. There's no issues with code. That's why we love new construction too. So there's that. You got the warranty, you got the peace of mind when you buy it. Last reason, which may actually be the number one reason, depending on what your plans are. But man, you get some lender incentives, builder incentives if you buy some of these houses. Right now, we're recording this October of 24. You can get lenders and buyers that are buying down these rates by a point. You can get lenders and buyers that are giving you $10,000 towards whatever you want, $15,000 towards whatever you want, $20,000. I mean, they're trying to get these houses moved. So and the kicker on that is more than likely you're going to have to use their lender. It's always a negotiating thing, but we can try and fight it if we want to use our particular lender. But a lot of times that's their way of trying to get business for business partners and whatever. But they're giving away money. It's kind of hard to turn down that money. So that's a really cool thing is that if you get a brand new construction house, let's say you buy a $500,000 house, brand spanking new, and the lender, if you use their lender, they give them $15,000 towards closing costs. That's pretty close to what you pay in closing costs. And then I don't know what else you'd put down on the house or whatever, but it covers a lot of your closing costs. And then you got a brand new house on top of it and all that. It's a pretty good deal. Like I said, some of them are also doing like a 4.99% rate right now. Rates right now are in the low sixes. Some people are getting the upper fives, but primarily in the low sixes. So you're talking about rates that are a good point, if not just over a point, better than that. Okay, so builder incentives, lender incentives on new construction. I mean, it's everything else being equal and everything else, you add everything else up, apples to apples. I mean, it's a pretty solid reason why you should buy new construction. Then you throw in, oh yeah, we're gonna give you like $15,000 towards closing costs. It makes it a pretty sweet deal. So that's number 5. Could be number 1 in your book, but in this video, it's number 5. Incentives are pretty cool on new construction. I got one more. All right, here's your bonus tip. If you buy early enough, let's say they're building out 300 houses in a neighborhood, 200 houses in a neighborhood or whatever. Let's say you get in early enough, okay? Let's say you get in first quarter of the houses. Maybe you get like the first house, but let's say you get first quarter of the houses. What new construction places do is every so often, every few houses they sell, 6 houses, every 10 houses or whatever, they'll kick the prices up a little bit. They have a built-in way of getting some equity for the people who bought the house first. So let's say you buy a house, $500,000, right? You buy it, you're pretty early in the system. After they sell another 6 to 10 houses, maybe they'll bump it up to 505, 510. Now, houses are going to go up in price anyway. I mean, that's what typically happens, but it's nice to have that almost that guarantee, and then everything kind of builds around you and everything. So if you get in early enough, you have the opportunities to watch your equity kind of go up as they continue to build houses out. So you have kind of a built-in way of making a little bit of money, kind of building your legacy that way. We're big on that. That's kind of why we like to buy houses and talk to our people about buying houses, trying to build legacy for your family for the future. It's a great way of doing it. You buy early enough, the builder themselves are going to raise the prices enough to help you build some equity. Now, those are the good reasons why. And that's 5 plus bonus, so I guess that's 6, but I think 5 is supposed to look better in algorithms than 6. We're gonna call it 5 plus a bonus. However, there are some reasons why you may want to think about, instead of doing new construction, doing existing construction. So why would I not want to buy new construction? All right, so there's probably 4 reasons why the new construction wouldn't make sense. So we'll go through those real quick right now. We may do this as a separate video, but want to at least give these ideas. Number 1, it just may not be in the right location. You know, a lot of times, I mean, obviously there's a reason why, let's pick Suwanee, for example. There's a reason why all the big neighborhoods in Suwanee are there. It's like there was room there to build the neighborhoods. They built the neighborhoods. They built the neighborhoods kind of on top of each other and whatever, and now there's not a whole lot of places to build the neighborhoods. So there's not a whole lot of places. Now you have to build them out. If you want to be near Suwanee, let's say, or be near Buford, you got to maybe go out a little bit further to get kind of the house that you want. So may not be able to get the right location. That might be that, number 1. Number 2, you're probably going to have a little bit smaller yard on average than you would with an existing house. As we go through time, obviously land becomes more expensive, and a lot of these builders are trying to, get the best bang for their buck with these neighborhoods. Best bang for your buck is, let's get as many houses in these neighborhoods as we possibly can. There are certain counties that are a little more notorious for allowing for these houses to be built right on top of each other. I'm not going to say Gwinnett. And so yards are a little bit smaller than they were back in the day. You know, I have a house that was built back in like 99, 2000. I got like a third of an acre, like almost 0.4 acres. Like, it's a decent sized yard. You don't see that a whole lot in any houses that are built in Gwinnett County now. But I talked about earlier, I'm working with a couple looking at some new construction right now. And there's some new constructions out like in Jackson County, like out near, Jefferson, and then some near Houston and Brazelton. There's some like decent land on some of these houses. So, I mean, they are there. You got to dig a little bit to find them. On the whole, a lot of these new construction are going to be built right on top of each other. So if you want to have a little bit of space, new construction may not make sense. Even if everything's new inside, if the outside like built like this, it just may not make sense for what you want. Number 3, they may not be built necessarily as well on the inside of the walls as some of the older houses. If I talk to some of my inspectors that I've worked with in the past, and they've looked at some houses. We've helped our buyers buy brand new houses. We've helped our buyers buy houses built in the 70s. And the inspector will go in there and say, that house is built in the 70s. Yeah, it needs a new kitchen. Yeah, I mean, you need to throw some paint on that wall. Yeah, I mean, you need to take that sink out. But man, they don't build them like this anymore. They're built like bricks. When they build the houses, the studs are built a little bit closer together. The wood may be a little bit stronger than some of the wood that's used today to build some of these houses. And, it's going to last forever. Some of these new constructions, I can't promise that. So the new constructions just may not be built on the inside quite as nice. Yeah, they've got all the nice, accompaniments. They got the sinks and the counters and the ovens and this and that. But on the inside, they just may not be built quite as good. I mean, you could probably get the same kind of whiz-bang feeling from a better built older house if you spend the money to kind of renovate it. May not be what you want to do. You may want to just buy brand spanking new. Again, everybody's call. I'm just giving you the counterpoint as to why it may not make sense. The other thing is, for resale, so I got 2 more. For resale, you're going to have to wait until the neighborhood's built out. This is an important one. I want you to think about this. You're going to have to wait until the neighborhood gets built out before you can really do a decent number reselling the house. And I'll tell you why. As we talked about, they're going to raise prices as they go. So you buy something $500,000 6 months ago, and they've slowly raised their prices. Let's say your house is like the new construction's $550,000. Let's say you want to go sell your house for $550,000. Like, that's kind of like apples to apples or whatever. Problem is, that's a brand new house and yours isn't anymore. It's just like a new car. You buy a brand new car, man, it has that new car smell. It's got all the gadgets and the gizmos and buttons and everything. As soon as you drive it off the lot, that thing drops like a rock. To quote Dave Ramsey, that's why Chevy's, slogan was like a rock, because that's what happens to the price when you drive a new car right off the lot, right? So, that being said, new house, I don't want to say it's the same thing, but you got to think from the perspective of a buyer. Why did you buy the new house? Because it's new, right? brand spanking new. So if you're going up against a house that it was 5, now it's worth 550, but they're building brand new houses 550. If you're a buyer, what would you rather have? A house that's brand spanking new, never been lived in at 550, or a house over here that's been lived in for 6 months by somebody, you don't know who or whatever. And yeah, I'm pretty new. I mean, there's really probably no issues with it at all, but still, it's a used house and this one's brand new and they're both 550. Which one am I going to pick? So that's the one thing I don't think about. So that's kind of the dual-edged sword of getting in early. Now, if you're getting in early because you're going to live there for 5 years, then by all means, jump in there, let the prices go up and enjoy it. But if you're thinking about, I want to move in a couple of years, maybe I'm buying a new construction that's almost done. Okay, so that way you're not competing with any new construction. Now, you might compete with the new construction down the road, and we've had that happen with our people where like they had a house that was 4 years old, and there was new construction right next door. And even though the new construction was a little bit more expensive, people would rather that than a used house. Okay, so I can't help that. I don't know what they're going to build in 4 years. But if you know you're going to move maybe like a year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever, and you want to be able to get out kind of quickly, look for neighborhoods that have already kind of sold out mostly, and there's just a few houses left. Okay, so there you go. There's that one. But the last one I want you to think about, and this is one that catches everybody. There's no new fridge, usually. Blinds, and sometimes a garage door opener isn't included. I've seen garage door openers more than I have in the past, but a lot of times it's blinds and it's a fridge. And people, they kind of don't realize that or think about that. And they're moving in, they're all excited. And then once they're all excited and they're like, oh crap, we got to get blinds. I mean, you can get it through the builder. You can get a fridge through the builder. It's probably gonna be more expensive. Things like that. That's just one of the things I want you to think about. It's new. It's really nice. It may not be 100% complete, but still, it's new construction. Just has those couple of things you want to keep in mind. So those are some of the reasons why, if you're thinking about doing it, why maybe an existing construction may make more sense. So there you have it. 5 plus a bonus of why it makes sense. And then we've got a couple of reasons why it may not make sense. But everybody has their own unique thing. So that's why you need to talk to a really good realtor about kind of, these are my goals. These are our goals. This is where we want to be in a year, in 5 years, and 10 years. What makes the most sense? We'll walk through it. We'll figure out what makes the most sense. Those are the couple things that you need to keep in mind is like, yeah, you do get some incentives, but the bad news is, you're gonna have to pay for some of the stuff out of pocket as far as a fridge and blinds, and it's depending on timing and whatever. At the end of the day though, new construction is pretty cool. The one thing I don't want you to do, all right, 2 things, and then we'll close on these. When you go through some of these model homes and new construction, they're so nice. You know why they're so nice? Because they pay a boatload of money to a designer to make them nice. They study this stuff. They know exactly how to make these houses look to where you're like, oh my goodness, like all the decorations and stuff in there. Not even the construction. Forget the construction. I'm talking about the couches, the stuff on the counters, the stuff on the walls. I mean, it's just unbelievable. They hire people to do that. It's great. It gets people to buy houses. I can't blame them for it. Just remember that when you're looking at it. Like, all right, this looks really great, but it's going to be our stuff that's in here. It's going to be our beds that have to fit. It's going to be our kids running up and down the stairs, all that stuff. What makes the most sense? Like, is this going to work? I mean, I got some small kids. You have these really nice, tchotchkes and stuff on the table. Like, those are really nice. They ain't going to be in my house. I can tell you that right now. I'll be all over the floor. So I got to figure out, is there a place for my kids to run in this house? Okay, so keep that in mind as you're looking at it. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, sometimes people think to themselves, I'm just going to work with the agent that works at the new construction place, okay? And because instead of the new construction place compensating an agent, maybe I can just get that money off the price of the house, okay? 2 things to think about. Number 1, if you're working with their agent that they pay, their agent that they pay is going to be rooting for them, okay? So if there are issues, if you do need to get pushed, and some of the new construction we've seen, we've had to have radon tubes put in because radon tests were bad. We've had to have mold remediated because there was mold in the basement, because the row of basements on these townhouses, they all had water in them, they all had mold in them. So we had to be able to fight with them to get the mold. Some where we had to have some serious kind of, I don't want to say reconstruction, but some of the door frames were kind of cattywampus, and we had to bust out, levels and stuff like that to be sure that everything was correct. I mean, we're going to fight for our people. Most of the time, we're going to have those fights? No, but you need somebody who's going to watch over every step of the way to be sure everything is done correctly for you. I don't know if the person who works for the seller is going to be doing that. So that's number one. There's a reason why you should have somebody. Number two, people are going to think, oh, I'll just take that money off the price of the house. They're not going to take the money off the price of the house. They're gradually walking the prices up so that the appraisals don't mess up. If they drop, let's say it's a $500,000 house, let's just say they offer, I don't know what they're going to offer, but let's just say for argument's sake, it's 3%. That's $15,000. They're not going to make the $500,000 house a $485,000 house, because basically what's going to happen is that's going to throw off the appraisals on all the other houses, and they're going to have to drop prices everywhere else. So they're not going to do that. Then you think, well, maybe I can get incentives or whatever. They're already giving you incentives. At some point, they can give you $1 billion worth of incentives. There's only so much money you can spend. I mean, you can only spend the closing costs that they give you. In Georgia, the way the contracts work, let's say it's $16,000 in closing costs. They offer you $16,000, but if closing costs are only $15,000, you don't get that $1,000 in cash. The seller keeps the $1,000. So, I mean, I tell that to my people all the time. I mean, we could offer a buyer, if I'm working with a seller, I can offer a buyer $1 billion in closing cost concessions to help with the closing. You're not going to owe them $1 billion. You're going to owe them up to whatever the closing costs end up being. So, to not have an agent to save money, it may not make sense because they're already offering incentives. They're not going to drop the price. So there's not really going to be a whole lot that you're going to be able to negotiate out of that by not having an agent. I mean, you do what you got to do. And if it makes sense for you, it makes sense for you. I'm just saying, sometimes people think to themselves, I won't get an agent because it's going to save me money. More than likely, it's not. It's not going to save you money. You're still going to pay what you were going to pay, and you're still going to get the same incentives you were going to get, but you just don't have anybody walking with you to be sure you're protected other than the person working for the builder. There you go. I'm not saying the builders are nefarious. I'm not saying the builders are going to, take advantage of you. I am saying that anytime that there's a legal, situation where there's somebody on one side of a legal document, somebody on the other side of a legal document, I think everybody deserves somebody on their side of the legal document watching over them. Because you only buy a house once every however many years. You're an agent that does it a lot. So there you go. I think I've said all that I need to say. Now, if you're interested in new construction or have questions about that, give us a call, 678-693-2363, or our emails below. You can reach out to us there. One more time, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, because it really does help out to grow the channel, get all this information out to people. But new construction, I'll tell you what, some of the new constructions I've seen, and we're going to start featuring more of these on our site, on our YouTube channel. Some of these new communities that are coming up. Some of these new construction are really, really nice. It has me kind of rethinking my plans for the next couple of years. But if you have questions on whether or not it makes sense or not, that's what we're here for. Give us a call. Steve Malone Home Team, EXP, North Georgia. Y'all take care. Bye.